Hello and welcome. This is the Market Wrap. I am Agam Akil. Let's take a look at how markets have panned out today. And while we did see some slack movement through the course of the day, it was the last half an hour of trade where we started seeing a little bit of an up move. And eventually, with the markets closing above the mark of around 11,900. 11,910 to be precise. We have gains in GAIL India, Z Entertainment, NTPC, Indian Oil Corp and ONGC, which have led the market's higher. But on the losing end, Yes Bank is down 15%. We'll talk about that in just a bit. We have Vedanta, Hero MotoCorp, Hindalco as well as L&T weighing down on the indices. As far as the market breadth is concerned, it was nowhere near as bad as what we saw yesterday. So IFB Industries, Ipca Labs, GAIL, HDFC, AMC all advancing, along with something like an Ashoka Bilcon and Adani Green back above the mark of 130 rupees per share. On the losing end, we have Sterlite Technologies, TV Today under substantial bit of pressure, ITDC, PC Jewel and Allahabad Bank also declining in trade. But on that note, let me get in our markets editor Neeraj Shah for his thoughts on the markets. Neeraj Shah, the last half an hour was a little bit of a surprise. I reckon that has something to do with the fact that the finance minister is going to come up and speak to the press at 5:30 in the evening. Yeah,
maybe that, but it's strange that the equity markets did what they did today. I mean, I'm a bit surprised, really. One, we were anyways not having a positive market breadth. Two, I mean, S&P said that maybe there is a ratings downgrade chance as well. Of course, subject to a lot of conditions.
Right.
Bond yields have spiked, Agam. 6.74 when we wrapped the show at about 3:30.
Right.
And that's substantially higher from the yield levels that they were. So we don't have any reasons for the markets to really do well. One argument could be that ahead of the Fed meet, ahead of this presser, maybe there are shorts which were in the system which we didn't want to stay short because of what if something comes about. Yes. Maybe that is probably the only reason that I can fathom why there would have been a bout of short covering which could have led the markets higher. But aside of that, can't really quite figure out what's the good news for the markets today. It has to be that Thursday and Friday we were down. Yesterday we were down, or rather Thursday we were down. Yesterday before yesterday still have not been the best of days. So maybe there's a bit of short covering that is out there.
Perhaps. Well, thanks Neeraj for that perspective there. So, well, we watch out for what the finance minister has to say today. Other than that, of course, well, several other overhangs at this point in time. But let's talk about Yes Bank then. And Yes Bank did fall by as much as 15%. I'm going to get in Shefali Malik to talk to us about what's really gone on here. Shefali.
Well, the market obviously has not liked the development with regards to the Yes Bank that that they are going to consider only $500 million worth of bids. So brokerages have also expressed their unhappiness with this development. So starting with Nomura, it's saying that the board outcome on bids is a negative development and it's unlikely that a $1.2 billion bid from Irvin Singh Brech will go through. And they're also doubting whether the balance $800 million would also go through, because that would also have been contingent upon $1.2 billion coming in, even though the board is saying that management is saying $500 million is likely. And also, if the fundraising does not happen, then the bank could breach the regulatory capital norms soon. So that is something that will be really important to look forward to come Q3 earnings. And very important and strong statements coming in that unavailability of capital also raises questions over the going concernability of the bank. And there are few merger options available other than State Bank of India. So right now they're retailing the neutral rating with a target of 63 rupees a piece. Right. Macquarie also put out a note and they titled their report as Nationalization Looms question mark.
Sure, yes.
So again, very strong statements coming in, and they're again going on to say that many questions have been left unanswered, and the bank would need $2.5 to $3 billion over next 12 to 18 months. And the contagion risk of a bank collapsing is far higher than that of an NBFC collapsing, which was a concern, which has been a concern since last couple of months. So they continue to maintain their underperform rating with a target price of 50 rupees a piece.
Shefali, very quickly, a contagion risk would be, that means it would involve other banks as well, which are associated with.
Yes, absolutely. There are risks of the damage spilling over to the financial system on the whole.
Well, Shefali, thanks so much for getting us those details. So there you have it. Well, a tough day for Yes Bank. We're going to have to wait and watch as to what the further developments come through. But let me also shift focus to one other Adani Group company, and I'm going to get in Sharad Dubey to talk to us about that. Sharad.
Well, yes, it was a very important move, for the stock of Adani Transmission, that basically it has entered into a definite agreement to sell 25.1% stake in Adani Electricity Mumbai, which is a power distribution arm, which operates in Mumbai circle itself for a total amount of 3,200 crore rupees to Qatar Investment Authority. Qatar Investment Authority is basically a part of the sovereign fund of the state of Qatar itself. Now let us go through the deal itself, the breaking up the deal with sources. The people in the know did talk about the deal breakup. So that is coming almost 1,200 crore rupees in a cash transaction and 2,000 crore rupees in terms of a preference share that will be paid out by Qatar Investment Authority itself. Apart from this, if you see the deal valuations, last year itself Adani had acquired this Mumbai business in the month of August, so the enterprise value stood at almost 12,100 crore rupees, while the current transaction which has happened has made the enterprise valuation roughly coming to almost 16,800 crore rupees. So there was a kind of a negative reaction to the stock as well, because this was in the same valuation range, and there's not a significant premium to this transaction coming in as per our analysis. Apart from this, if we see the main figures, especially the debt levels, the current debt level stands at almost 9,000 crores in terms of term loan and 1,000 crores in terms of working capital loans, and the equity value of the company stands at almost 4,800 crore rupees. And this deal is expected to be closed by March 2020 and is subject to regulatory approval. So that is something which we'll be watching out for, Agam, and this energy space is buzzing.
All right, Sharad, thanks so much for getting us those details on Adani Transmission. So we'll be watching out for that. Of course, all eyes will remain on what Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman has to tell us, and perhaps we can take it forward in how the markets open today. But on that note, it's a wrap on the markets, but there's lots more lined up. Stay tuned to BloombergQuint.